So, welcome everyone to a special edition of Creative on Purpose Live. This is a broadcast where we're going to talk a little bit about what happens inside the Purpose Driven Prosperity Model Substack publication and in the various paid tiers, and what happens for folks that go into the back end offers and take advantage of some of the coaching. And I'm here with a longtime subscriber and Circle community member. And now we've been working together as coach and client for over a year. We celebrated our anniversary just a few days ago. So, everyone, welcome Willie, who is with us today. Bri is the publisher of Business for Nerds, one of my favorite publications. And I'm not just saying that because Bri is in the room and because she pays me money. I'm saying that because it's a really great publication with a fantastic community of its own. But I'm not going to give away all of your secrets, Bri. I'm going to let you tell folks a little bit about who you are, what you do, and where can people go to learn more about you and the difference you're making.
Sure. Thank you for that awesome intro. Let's see. So, I am a therapist and I branched out into business coaching. I had started a therapy business about 10 years ago. And I was just talking with, was it Jake about this? Or I was writing about it too. Thinking about all these things, about my business story and how, uh, you know, coaches then and now, I guess, I needed help. I was drowning in not knowing what to do, just kind of trial by fire. And I reached out to a coach and they're like, well, pay us $10,000 and then we'll help you launch your therapy private practice and help you get clients. And I'm like, what? And I left that and I was crying. And I just decided okay, fine. I will DIY this thing. I am going to podcast it. I'm going to follow every therapist, business owner out there who's like talking about how to run a business. And I am going to figure this out. And I did. And it worked. And now it's working, but now I'm starting not starting. I have this other business I'm growing and you're helping me build that and it's starting to take off. Did I answer your question?
You did answer the question. And
All
just
right.
one more time for the folks that are just joining, tell everyone where they can find your Substack.
Okay, so it's they can find it. It's under, I think, Dr. Brianna Willie actually is at .substack.com, or just go to businessfornerds.com and all of that's on there.
Fantastic. We just had Jerry Berger, who is another Circle member, a paid subscriber to the Purpose Driven Prosperity Model, tuning in from New Zealand, I believe, Jerry. Jerry, great to have you with us. So I'm going to provide a little context. So what we're going to do today is I'm actually going to provide kind of an over-the-shoulder experience for anyone that tunes in now or tunes in to the replay when it gets put out on the Substack podcast. About just it's going to be an over-the-shoulder experience of what it's like to receive coaching from this old dude. And to set the stage before we get to Bri's specific situation, which we've been hashing out in our Voxer conversation. So, just for context, I have various tiers of coaching available that are only available to members of the paid subscriber community. And at the top of the tier, in addition to one-on-one coaching via Zoom, folks also get access to me daily on Voxer. They have weekly group coaching calls, which is really just a variation of this, where people get to have a hot seat while other people are in the room learning over the shoulder. And we do some onboarding calls that help set priorities and identify constraints and success paths. And so Bri and I were speaking in the Voxer about one of the other features that comes with any paid subscriber plan, which is the Scottbot. Actually, I'll pause there for a minute because Bri is one of the biggest fans out there of the Scottbot. Why don't you tell folks what the Scottbot is?
I love them. So there's Scottbot Cornerman Coach, who actually I've been noodling with every day, I'd say, and sending you little snippets of it. um, and that I have this ongoing thread where it knows basically everything about me, and it's helping me figure out the next steps with my coaching offer or whatnot. And then I also use, yes, the Forever Offer Bot, which I also love. Oh, there's a cardinal. Anyway, sorry, squirrel. Um, yes, and the Forever Offer Bot is super helpful too, and actually helped me focus. Which again, I got the zoomies. Focus how to kind of build and express my Forever Offer a little better.
Yeah. So everyone that is a paid subscriber has access to the Cornerman Coach, aka the Scottbot, which is something that you can use to help you implement all of the core principles that are taught and available as recordings, and often are the subjects of our um, training calls. We do something at least every month on the Forever Offer, which is basically a way of creating a perennial, adaptable uh, offer that is perfectly positioned to make you the one and only choice in whatever difference it is that you make in the way only you can make it. So it's less. It's not something like a no-brainer offer or a power offer, although you can use it to create those things if they resonate with you. They don't resonate with me, but it's basically a way of being, a way of being, and a way of defining what you really help people accomplish or what problem you help them solve in the unique way that only you can do it. And it's a way that you can build offers beneath that will meet any prospect or lead where they are, and you can uh, create frictionless uh, ways of getting them to go from prospect to lead to converted client. And then the Scottbot is something that you can use in between our community calls to help you implement that training or those principles. And then it's something for folks like Bri that clients frequently use in between our one-on-one calls or our weekly Wednesday calls. And so today, I got this really interesting message from Bri telling me again how much she loves the Scottbot even more than me. No, she didn't say that. But she did say that the Scottbot really helped her, but she also wanted to check in because here's the thing. The Scottbot is great, I think. It's created entirely based on my coaching IP, and it has been trained to provide, to the best of its ability, the answers that I would provide in person, but it's a bot, and it's not always going to pick up on all the nuances or the entirety of my experience and expertise. And so it actually will prompt you like, hey, here's what I'm saying, but I'm just the Scott bot. If you're if you're connected to Scott, you should double check with Scott before you implement any of these things. So Bri was double checking like, hey, here's what the Scott bot said. And here's what the Scott bot said I should ask you as follow up. And I went to my own version of the Scottbot, which is just a triple X version of the publicly facing Scottbot. And so, Bri, why don't you just tell folks where you were at, what you were working through, and what the Scottbot said to ask me, and then what the Scottbot said it would do.
Yeah. So I have had the most clarity ever, through your help and your bots, with my offer. And we had our coaching session yesterday, and I knew what to do. But typical me, I was also looking at just other things because I get all these random emails, and then I got my other business I'm, maintaining. And I got these opportunities that almost took me off the path of what the clarity that we had built. And so I just dropped those things in there, and I don't really need to go into detail for the concepts or points really to be made here, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
One of them was like a government contract, looking into it, but the thing is that would take time and effort and energy and like a whole new thing to bring across the barbell, which I see that now, but, so I dropped all these things in there, including an email I received that probably was a scam and I wasn't sure about. And it did a great job in breaking it all down. It did a better job than my own GPT, which I built based on my own views and things I'm learning. And it was really succinct and gave me what to do. And um, I think it did say, oh, I asked it to give me a summary because I like to report in with you, to send to you. And then, so it gave me a little summary. And then it said, what did it say? To ask you about how not to get as distracted so often and things like staying on the path and just kind of weighing in on what you thought. I think it said something like that.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. So just want a quick shout out. I see Jackie Noelke just hopped on. Jackie is an old friend that I met through Laurel Portier several years ago at a live event. I was actually just on a 2-hour call with Laurel before I hopped on with with Bri here. So Jackie, great to see you. Jackie's a former member of the circle, and great to see her here. So to your points, Bri, you through, maybe with some assistance from me, but largely through your own discipline and effort, have really, over our year of working together, dialed in what this forever offer looks like. You also have gained traction. You have actual clients now, and things are working. And so what we were talking about yesterday on our quarterly call for defining your 90-day goal for the third quarter of um, 2025 was, how do you take this system that is working, where you have traction, and boost momentum by raising the floor on the core components that are not functioning as effectively or efficiently as they could. And then, as all humans do, we see lots of shiny objects. We get lots of digital marketers and online gurus making all sorts of promises landing in our inbox about how we could take what we do and scale it with a government contract, or how we could, or here's a business opportunity that you can add on to what you're doing, and so forth. And so it's easy to get distracted in the digital world, for sure, and just in general, because we're actually programmed to chase after shiny things and to do more. The fundamental, the fundamental peril in doing that is that if you have a working system, anything that you add to that system, no matter how efficient and effective it is, will draw will excuse me will bring down the effectiveness and efficiency of your system. If you have a system that is, has three components that are operating at 90%, it's not operating at 90%. It's operating at 90 times 90 times 90%. So it's actually operating automatically right now at 72%, not 90%. 9.9 times zero point 0.9 times zero point 0.9, right, is 72.72, 72% efficiency. If you add a component that is also operating at 90%, you actually just drove down the efficiency of your system to 63%.
Mm.
And you are burning resources. You're burning time, attention, money, effort, and maybe reputation and other assets. So so Bri's fundamental question is, do I pay attention to any of these things? And if not, what do I do to stop being distracted by these things? Well, one thing is to remember your first principles, right? Lillian is here. Claire just hopped on. Great to see you both. Um, So first principles thinking says the most effective way to boost the effectiveness and efficiency of your system is to make sure you don't add anything to it unless you're going to subtract something for to. In fact, the best thing you can do to your system is look for the cruft, look for the extraneous, look for the redundant, look for the unnecessary, and take it out. Because if you have four components at 90%, that's a 63% efficient system, and you take one component out, you just boosted the efficiency to 72% and saved yourself time, money, and effort. So remembering your first principles thinking and how systems work and system reliability, all super important. The other thing that is helpful, and this was something, and just because we're talking about the coaching GPTs that are available to subscribers and coaching clients, this is one of the things that the bot missed, which is that, well, there's two things that it missed. One is the barbell, and Bri referenced this. Like the barbell strategy, and there's plenty of free content about this in the purpose-driven prosperity model Substack, is when you have something that has potential, possibility, and you're exploring, what you want to do is take it from you. Number one, you're going to have to put in a lot of resources to explore. So what you want to do is move it across the barbell to exploit. And I don't mean take advantage of unjustifiably. I mean, turn it into an asset that is earning you money with the least amount of time, money, and effort being invested in it. So you want to move it across. And so Bri has a system that she has been exploring that is working, and she's moving it across the barbell. It's starting to work, and she's trying to move it across so that it becomes something that is operating on what we call minimum effective dose. Instead of investing a bunch of resources, she wants to put it across a barbell. And how do you get the results that it's getting while reducing the amount of time, money, attention, and effort to the bare minimum, and have it continue to get the results it's getting? And she's not there yet. She's moving something across, but she's making progress. What happens, and happens to everyone that I've ever seen, including me, it's happened to me many times, is you get something halfway across the barbell, then it's like, wait a minute, cool thing over here. I'll take some time, money, and effort and get that going as well. Now you have two things in the barbell. That's homework. That's a job. It's a job just to keep ineffective things operating as inefficiently and ineffectively as they're operating. And then what happens? Well, wait a minute, another shiny, cool thing here. I'm sure this will work. This will help. And I'll get that going. Now you've got three things in the middle of the barbell, and you're investing time, money, attention, and effort into all of them. And all you have done is turn your day into a full-time job of keeping all the plates spinning and all the balls in the air. And nothing is across the barbell earning you money in any kind of certain or consistent way. So that's, again, something that was missed. The bigger question that Bri was asking in our exchange today, because Bri was smart enough to realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm getting all these ideas and I'm thinking about all these things that I could be doing in addition to the thing that's already starting to work that I actually should be paying attention to. And I haven't moved my thing all the way across the barbell. Well, how do I stop being the kind of person that gets distracted, that is delusional about the fact that there might be a magic formula or blueprint or roadmap or some missing piece that will magically make the whole thing work better? How do I stop being that kind of person? Am I painting an accurate picture of the discussion that we were having, Bri?
Yes, 100%.
So again, I wrestle with this every day myself. I am a person that actually, over the pandemic, I was presenting some decision making frameworks to military bases across the country, and got an invitation to go up to Arlington and present to the spouses of uh, newly minted 1 and 2 star generals, and they actually made a offer to have me do this as a as a government contractor. And I had to like really think about, like, is this what I want to do? Because obviously it sounds lucrative to invest in becoming a government contractor and flying around the world and doing this thing. But when I thought about all the investment of time, attention, money, and effort, not to mention reputation and lifestyle compromises, it wasn't worth it for me. So I totally get it, because I've actually experienced that very same thing. So I'm going to ask Bri some questions, and because I'm putting her on the spot, she's going to get nervous and she's not going to be able to answer them. So I want you to all have consideration for that, as I will. But there are some things that we have talked about before, Bri, that I'm hoping I can bring to your memory. But if I can't, then I want you to know it's not your fault, because congratulations, you're a human being, and not a complete robot or sociopath. What when you're thinking about building a better business, what is the number one ultimate secret to building a better business?
Number one ultimate secret. Now this is reminding me of and I can't, of Hitchhiker's Guide
It's
to
not
the
too
Galaxy. Look at myself, you
bingo.
know.
Bingo. The fastest, most effective and efficient way to build a better business is to become a better person. The kind of person that can build a better business. Well, what defines what a better business is and what a better person is? Well, that's going to be kind of up to each and every viewer and viewer of this replay. But the folks that are attracted to me and my work are, for the most part, all solopreneurs, independent business owners, coaches, consultants, creatives, freelancers, bootstrappers, and their primary motivation is they want to make a difference. They want to help people achieve their aspirations and solve the problems, probably the same ones that you solve for yourself, in a way that is less painful, less stressful, less rigorous, and do it with more joy and ease. So in doing that, all that most of the people that come to me, all they ask in return is that they make enough of a living to be able to afford to continue to do that work. And so, how do you become the kind of person that can build a business that allows you to make the difference that you make without burning yourself out, blowing yourself up, and make a good enough living to fund and fit around the lifestyle that you want to have? Well, you have to recognize your human mindset. And this is language I'm stealing from Dr. Jeff Spencer, who is a partner in the Arena Catalyst program that Bri just completed last month. Um, the human mindset is prone to distraction, to dullness, to delusion, right? We chase shiny things. We are fraught with cognitive biases and cognitive distortions and narrative fallacies. And, we are most often the number one conspirator to our own success, because we wake up every day and do the same thing that we did yesterday, but somehow think that some miracle is going to happen and we're going to get a better result than we got yesterday. And that's not going to happen. What you want to do, in the words of Dr. Jeff Spencer, is start to adopt the champion's mindset, or the champion's mind. So, human mindset is what's keeping you where you are. The champion's mind will help you break through that. And so, Bri already did the most important thing, which was just recognizing that she's falling prey to her human mindset for distraction. Um, and in any situation like this, Bri, I think again, you've arrived, congratulations, you arrived at the real solution, which is before I put anything else in the middle of the barbell or burn any resources in the explore part of the barbell, I need to get the thing that's already working across the barbell on a minimum effective dose and consistently earning me money while I reduce the time and effort that I have to put into that. Um, but then the question, the one of the questions that you're asking me is like, why am I even considering doing this? Like, and that that is a really interesting question, and neither of our GPTs came up with what I'm about to say. If you find yourself struggling with a challenge, and that challenge can be identifying a priority, identifying a constraint, or creating a plan that will help you navigate the constraint and start to close the gap to your priority, then it's you can look out the window to see like is it the economy's fault? Is it the political situation's fault? Is it where I live geographically? Is it the relationships that I'm in? Like that's out the window thinking. You're looking and are there any gurus and digital marketers out there with a magic wand that can make all this work? That's out the window thinking. You're looking externally for an answer or for a magic pill, a silver bullet that's going to solve all your problems. And it's not, because the problem lies not out the window, but in the mirror. And
Mm,
so, why am I? That this is where things can be. Um, this can result in some pretty tough conversations and some pretty difficult to embrace realizations. But you know, why do I get consistently distracted? Why do I allow myself to purchase another high ticket coaching program or low ticket mastermind or enroll in a new course or go down a YouTube rabbit hole or whatever? Like, why do I do that? And it probably is not because it's probably not the reasons that you'll come to first. The first things that we'll say is, oh, but I'm just such a voracious learner. I love to learn and I love learning new things. Well, that's may very well be true. And as someone that loves to learn new things, I get it. But if you're like collecting dots is way less valuable than connecting the dots that you already have that will get you closer to what you want. Excuse me, I'm plugging things in here. Um, so, why am I continuing to be a dot collector? Why am I not connecting the dots I already have to make them work better? Why am I not auditing my system to see where I could raise the floor and boost the efficiency of my system and collapse time to target with greater ease? Do I have a fear of success? We all think that we are prone to fear of failure or yeah, I mean, I think fear of failure, anxiety about the uncertainty of what's going to happen does keep a lot of us humble and hiding and stuck where we are. Um, but I think that the truer constraint is we're actually afraid that we possess everything we need to succeed, and that's going to change who we are, and that's going to change the relationships with the people that we have relationships right now, and that might be partners and spouses, or kids and parents, or friends and coworkers and peers. I mean, yeah, that's a legitimate fear because it probably will happen. Um, and that's a longer conversation, obviously. Um, so the the micro step right, is that you have to stop looking for technical solutions to what is really an adaptive problem. The problem has nothing to do with your marketing web or your marketing funnel or your client acquisition system or the wording of your offer or the market that you're trying to. It has nothing, no, there's no technical solution to that problem. If you're going to become the kind of person that can achieve the kind of success that you want to achieve, you're going to have to become a different person. And if you're going to become a different person, you're going to have to see, be, and do things differently. And I want to like wrap my rant up, my riff rant up with um with something that I think is like extra super important, which is there's nothing lacking in you, in your ability, in your intellectual capacity to understand the situation, the real challenge, um, or who you are. You were born sufficient and whole, possessing everything you need to succeed in any endeavor that you choose to. And I know this. I got reminded of it just seconds ago when Jasper, my 3-year-old grandson, woke up from his nap and trotted across to get his banana yogurt. Um, you know, Jasper was born almost 3 months early. He had significant challenges developmentally and physically and existentially at the beginning of his life. And now, 3 years later, 3.5 years later, he is a thriving, vibrant, incredibly intelligent. He was reading my T-shirt to me today. A 3-year-old looked at me
Aw.
and said, "Amor fati." We'll talk about that another time. Um, you possess everything you need. We are born without the capacity to walk or talk or read or ride a bike or make a sandwich. And somehow we do these impossible things without any instruction manuals or any gurus or digital marketers with secret formulas and blueprints and roadmaps. So fundamentally, you're becoming the kind of person that can achieve the things that you want to achieve lies in being more of what you've always been, being curious, being brave, being open to experimentation, uh, and being open to learning from the inevitable failure of trying something for the first time, second time, third time, fourth time. And so, what I am presenting to Bri and to everyone that's tuned in or listening on replay is a solution to all of your challenges as an advancing business owner that is very, very simple. Stop doing stop doing the stuff that's not getting you closer to what you want and start improving the things that are getting you closer a little bit every day and take an audit of all the things that you're doing and get rid of all the things that aren't contributing to your success and make sure that you've defined what success actually means and where you're starting and what you're starting with and what are the things that have to go right to get there. And you will find that it's all very straightforward. If you have a specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound goal for your business, and you stop doing 80% of the things that you're doing and improve the 20% of the things that you're doing that need to be improved to close the gap, you make your success inevitable. And there's nothing new that you need to learn. There's nothing new that you need to do. And I say that it's simple with the recognition and knowledge that I totally get that it's not easy because we are competing against our default programming and conditioning. We are programmed to be distracted. We are programmed to stay where we are. We're status loving creatures. We like to know where we stand and what's expected of us. And if it means that we have to put ourselves below other people's, in our group, seen, then we prefer to stay where we are than we do to become what we are capable of becoming because it's comfortable. Way more comfortable than putting yourself out there, doing your thing out loud and in public and letting people watch and holding yourself up to the scrutiny and expectations of other people. I get it. It's totally a difficult thing to do. One of the things that I hope Bri has experienced by being a member of the circle community and being a part of the coaching cohort is that this is a lot easier to do when you surround yourself with more of the right people and you reduce the amount of time that you're spending with the wrong people. If you find yourself stuck and incapable of making progress towards the things that mean something to you, then it's time to take an honest audit of what you're spending your time on and who you're spending your time with. And it's time
Mm.
to start spending less time with the people that do not fuel your forward progress. It's time to stop doing more of the things that don't fuel your forward progress and start surrounding yourself with more of the kind of people that are on a journey and who have the kind of aspirations and the approach that you want to have. That's one of the things that I am very proud of cultivating in the circle community and my coaching cohorts. So, Bri, that was a very long riff rant and ramble. Um,
I love it.
so any first of all, is that response significantly different and or worse or better than what you were getting from the GPT?
It's much more expansive and helps me see like the larger picture. And though it's, what it said was definitely in the realm of right, this like just expands on that so much more to help me understand like the whole picture of why, and why the barbell is so important and why I don't need to be spinning my wheels in all the wrong directions. Like if I actually do what we talked about, I am going to get closer and I think things are going to work. And yes, I am terrified of that. I am.
Let's just out of curiosity, what is it about what is it about the fact that you can see that you can succeed that you find most terrifying?
I think that, like we were talking yesterday, it's that fear of change. I do want things, like part of me wants things all the same because I'm used to it. I know when to make dinner around all the things I have going on. I know when this is going to happen. Like things will change in my time and my life as this opens up, but I can set guardrails. I don't need to be working at the times I don't want to work. Like there's an answer for that too. So, why am I so afraid? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, you're afraid for all the right reasons. It's because you're a human being, and congratulations on that. Two two quick
Yay.
two quick final reflections is um one, things are going to change anyways. Like the future is always uncertain. Like one of the things that the Scottbot could have told you is put this through the decision triangle. We have a very specific, very easy 3-step formula for how to make decisions better, because there's no such thing as better decisions. Because decisions are not outcomes. You can make the very best decision and still get a lousy outcome. You can make a
Right.
very bad decision and get a really good outcome. And
Right.
that only fuels delusion, because if you made a good decision, got a bad outcome, you're going to look to people that are making bad decisions but getting good outcomes and follow
Right.
them. And if you get lucky enough to make a bad decision, get a good outcome, and you keep repeating a bad decision, sooner or later you're going to have a disastrous outcome. So one of the things that uh, about the fact that decisions are not outcomes is that when you make decisions better, meaning you understand exactly what's happening now and you are able to frame it in a way that is clear and objective and able to take a look at all of the possible choices that there are for what you decide to do next, and you make the very best decision that you're capable of making in the moment in alignment with who you are what you're trying to accomplish, the kind of person that you're becoming, and leveraging your skills and talents. If you do that consistently time over time, you'll never blow yourself or burn yourself out. You'll just keep putting yourself in new situations to make new decisions better. And over time, you will uh, increase the odds that you will get closer to what you want in less time with less effort. Because it's if you make consistently make decisions better, your success over time becomes inevitable.
Hmm.
One more kind of tactical thing for people like Bri and I who are prone to getting distracted by our own brilliant ideas, right? Oh, I know what I like. This is all working so good, and it's halfway across the barbell, so I'll just take a little time and do this other brilliant idea that I have. What would happen if you said, you know what? I love me a brilliant idea. I'm going to let this sit for 30 days, and I'm going to continue to do what I know I need to do. And in 30 days, if that idea just will not let you go, well, then maybe it is worth taking a look at. But if in 30 days, and this will probably be the case in most cases, you are like, that was I don't know what I was thinking. Like that probably is not as good an idea as I thought. Now you didn't waste any time or resources on something that probably was only going to distract you and probably wasn't work out anywhere near as good as you thought it was in the first place. So just developing that skill of, I've talked about, I used to put things into a back burner file. I ended up with a back burner file with hundreds of things in it that I never acted on after a couple of years. So I just deleted the file and I stopped putting things in files, and just let it like, hey, it's a no for now, but I'll come back to it if it just won't let me go. If it comes back and it won't let you go, it's probably worth exploring.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's helpful for you, Bri, and for everyone that's tuned in. I saw a bunch of familiar names. Jeanette was here, Audrey was here, Tess was here, Claire was here, Lillian was here, Jackie, Jerry. Appreciate you all being here. I dropped a link into the chat here, which will disappear as soon as we go um, offline. But if you want to subscribe to the Purpose Driven Prosperity Model, there's a link. You can sign up for free. You can sign up for $9 a month to get access to a ton of extremely valuable content, but also weekly calls with a bunch of with a thriving, vibrant community of difference makers. And if you think that you're ready to take a bolder step into possibility and your own potential, the $9 a month or $90 a year subscription gives you access to a ton of valuable content, 2 weekly calls a week, a chance to get some coaching every week, and access to a deep dive workshop on some of our core principles. And you'll also see that there's a new founder level called Inner Circle. And there's a bunch of goodies in there for you. So if it makes sense, check out the Purpose Driven Prosperity Model and become a subscriber. Penny just hopped on. Matt just hopped on. You just hopped on in time for me to sign off. I apologize for that. Bri, you know that it is a pleasure and a privilege to be your guide in your adventures in solopreneurship. I really value and appreciate not just your friendship and companionship on this crazy solopreneur journey, but I really appreciate you extending the generosity and vulnerability of being on this call today.
Thank you so much for your help. Oh, and don't forget the Scottbots. They're in your
That's
stuff
right.
too. But anyway.
Exactly right. All right, everyone.
Anyway.
This has been it's been a real treat to be here with you all. I hope that if this gets circulating, that you'll boost it with a like and a comment if you want to share your biggest takeaway. I'm always glad to hear from you if you have questions as well. But until next time, be well, do good, have fun. Thanks, Bri.
Bye.